Welcome to Everything Currency. I'm your host Jay, and today I want to talk to you guys all about the Hyperliquid ecosystem and the Hype token. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been very bullish on this token. I'm going to talk to you guys about why I think hitting the all-time high of $50 in the last week is just the beginning. And also, I made a promise to some of you guys that I will talk to you guys about how to take advantage of some of the airdrops going on the Hyperliquid ecosystem. So if you're excited about that, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and let's just get right into it. Right now, the price of Hype is at $43.93. We're at $11 billion market cap right now. We got about a billion tokens in the total supply right now. Now, these tokens are also getting bought back and burned, which is also one of the things that makes me super bullish on this token, because the more revenue that this protocol creates, the more bullish it's going to be based on the buybacks, or the more deflationary the token is going to be in the long run. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But right now, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the all-time high was 7 days ago. It hit, let's call it $51. The all-time low was $3.89. Now we got some predictions of this token super high up there at like $500, $1,000. I'm gonna say give us $100, and that should be super bullish for this entire ecosystem. So let's look at some of the things that I was talking about. So if we check out this right here, it says Hyperliquid shatters records, $106 in revenue in August. So if we look right here at this tweet, it says Hyperliquid made $106 million in 30 days. Solana plus Ethereum together made 20 million. Let's call it 20 million. That's 5x more revenue for Hyperliquid. The market caps of Hyperliquid are 12 billion. We got Solana at 108 billion and Ethereum at 530 billion. I'm never selling my hype. This is cheap. See you higher. Conviction over noise. So being that the Hyperliquid ecosystem is mostly focused on perps trading, you have the Hyperliquid chain, which is for perps trade, the Hyperliquid DApp, which is built on top of the chain, and then you have the Hyperliquid EVM, which is also, they both use the token. So everything is, any transactions or any activity on both of those sides of the ecosystem is good for the overall token. So just seeing that, wow, 5 times more revenue than Solana and Ethereum put together, and those are the top chains right now. So Hyperliquid seems to be undervalued in that situation. And also the Hype token buyback platform, since January, they have been holding, they went from holding 3 million to about 30 million Hype tokens valued at over $1.5 billion. So they've already done $1.5 billion in buybacks for the for the Hype token. So if we look at the chart a little bit, let's see if we can see some of this in the chart. Yes, we see pretty much straight up for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And on the daily and the weekly, it's looking very much just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but a little bit more bullish because it is above the 13 weekly moving average. Now, Hype has been leading this market cycle. It has been having a lot of real revenue. It has been having a lot of real users. So it's been kind of leading this market a little bit. And that's nice to see that it's bouncing right here on the 13 moving average. Looks like it wants to bounce again right at a critical point where we're wondering if Bitcoin is going to get above its 13 moving average, if it's going to continue up and continue this bullish market cycle. It looks like it wants to follow Hype, and it has been following Hype at least for, let's say, the last couple of months or so. I'll say Hype is about a month ahead of it, so it's looking pretty bullish in that regard. So how to get involved with the airdrops. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, well, how do you do this? Is there a real airdrop coming? Now, the airdrop on the Hype token is 100%, in my opinion, speculative. They have said, hey, we're going to do some things for the community, and people automatically assume that's airdrop season 2. If you have more information on that, let me know in the comment box. I want to be corrected on that, because I want to see some official, I want to see somebody officially saying that there is an airdrop part 2 for the Hype token coming, which I haven't seen yet, but I am still in this ecosystem getting ready for that. But besides the main Hype airdrop that made a bunch of people over 100k last time, there are other airdrops happening in the ecosystem that I can confirm that are happening. So I would recommend, or I even deployed my capital on those ecosystems because I know they have airdrops coming. And I also use the hyperliquid bridges and things like that to get involved with those airdrops. So let me just backstep and take a look at what that means real quick. So when you come to the hyperliquid website, it's going to bring you to the hyperliquid page right here, and you can launch the app. Now, since you're in the United States, it's going to tell you that you can't really use this unless you want to do something like risk it with the VPN, which I don't really like risking that, because if you deploy capital and you use a VPN, there is a high chance that you're not going to get an airdrop, because they are not allowed to give airdrops to people in the US, because the US likes to protect people from free money, right? So they're basically saying, hey, you're outside of our jurisdiction. Now, if they find out that you're outside of their jurisdiction, they could just make you ineligible for the airdrop. So you don't want to do that. What I would say do if you're starting off in this ecosystem is come to this page right here. It is called Hypebeat. I will put the link in the description below. It's going to be a referral link. So the first thing I'm going to do when I come to the app at hyperbeat.org, I'm going to come to this earn section right here, and you can see you can deposit in here and you can earn points on some of these protocols. So you got Hyperbeat USDT, you got Hyperbeat VLP vault, you got the first vault, you got the ultra vault, you got the XUAT vault, and you got the BTC vault. But the main thing I want to pay attention to when I come, before I get into any of these vaults, is the rewards right here. So like, for example, if you're going to deposit USDT on Hype into this vault, you're going to earn rewards, extra rewards on hearts, hyper swap, stats, resolve, and 3 other tokens, Hyperlane, Theo, and Felix. Now, this is what's great about this ecosystem right now, is that you can earn these points, and all of these different protocols might have a very good airdrop. Notice I say might have, because none of these things are confirmed, but it is good to earn these points. These points will also probably be used for you to earn extra yield and things like that in the future. So this is a pretty good place to start right here if you want to kind of get an idea of what you're going to do before you do it. So when you want to get some money onto the Hyperliquid ecosystem, I'm going to suggest you use this protocol right here. You can see it's Hyper. It's in one of the rewards protocols, so you can earn points on it right now. This is the dApp right here, hyper.fi. When you come right here, you can do a lot of things on this website. You can borrow, which is kind of like your Aave. You can I like to stake some tokens, borrow against it, and then use those tokens to do other things in the market. You can come right here. You got pooled or isolated markets, but what we're going to use is the bridge, because we want to get some tokens from another EVM onto the Hyperliquid EVM. And right here you can basically just do a cross-chain swap. It's very simple on how to do those, but you will earn points for using these protocols. That is the main thing. You want to come right here and check the points and see what you can get. There are buddy codes and things like that you can share with your friends and multiply your points. And remember, it's all about just using this ecosystem to get points. We don't know how much money this is going to pay out. We don't know if the airdrops are going to be good. We don't even know if there's going to be airdrops. And that's the best thing about it, because when they hype up airdrops, at least from my experience, when they hype up airdrops too much, they usually end up being the worst airdrop. So go ahead and check out this Hyperbeat platform, which is going to give you access to a bunch of these. You can click on all of these different protocols right here. Hearts, for example, is another one, or Hyperlend, which is another Aave like protocol, and you can check those out and see. But I'm only saying the one that I used was Hyperbeat, because that's how I bridged onto the Hyperliquid ecosystem. So that one for sure is at least one that you should use. And also remember, bridging to a new protocol is probably one of the easiest ways to get airdrops, usually, is because they want people to use that bridge. Now the next one, so that's already 2, and a bunch of them that you can find on Hyperbeat to go ahead and start messing with those protocols. Now I got some newer ones that are a little bit more interesting. So you got this one right here, Hello Hyper Community, a milestone's coming, the V drop on Hyper EVM. If you've ever seen Pump.Fun ignite the token trend, then the Wallet V is the upgraded version right on Hyper Liquid. So there is this wallet app. I don't like doing crypto on my phone, but I know everyone does everything on their phone. This is the wave. We got base pushing apps. We got everybody pushing apps onto your phone. So we got Zora app. There's a lot of different apps that are popping off right now. So using this platform right here, you can go to wallet.v and use the code 17997. I will get a code and put it in the link, or just hop into my Telegram group, because I think this is going to be limited for new people. And once it's the first batch of like testers are in there, that's going to be it. And then they're going to allow people to come into the app later. So this is also one to look at. So this wallet.v trade hyperliquid perps is going to be something that it's going to be pretty interesting, but they do have some things to get in airdrop, so that's one you can also check out. Now, another one that I got involved in was it says it is the public liquidity layer on Hyperliquid. Now, liquidity layers on most chains usually do very, very well, or protocols that are dedicated toward liquidity and making liquidity easier and making it, bringing more liquidity to the chain, are usually pretty good tokens. The last one that we cooked with was Deepbook on Sui. Deepbook cooked very, very good liquidity token on Sui. And this is another one. This one is very, very early to the party. If we come to the website right here, we can see that right now there is only 17 million TVL locked, and they've made $30,000 on pools right now. But according to CoinGecko, because it's not really tracking these things correctly yet, according to CoinGecko, this protocol has only did like $1,000 in volume. So people don't know about this protocol yet. But if we scroll down, we can see that if you provide liquidity on some of these things, you got 98% APR on Hype USDT. That is pretty good if you're gonna hold Hype for the long term. Anyways, you got a bunch of different ways that you can make some APRs on this, and you also earn points right here. They have their point thing live right now. Also, remember, they all have referrals. I'll put all my referrals in the description in case you guys want to use them, help a brother out. But yeah, you can do these referrals and you will earn points on this one. But the reason why I like this one is because it is very new compared to some of the other things happening on Hyperliquid right now. So it's a little bit more under the radar. I want to be very early to these things, as early as possible. Remember, we don't know which one of these are going to be the most lucrative, but we have a lot of options. So I would, like me personally, I go for the options that are like newer, less people, but also something that looks like it's going to be needed in the ecosystem. And in every ecosystem, liquidity is needed. So definitely check out this Hybra protocol. Like I said, I'll put links in the description for that as well. The liquidity, community owned liquidity layer for Hyperliquid should be great, especially with all this revenue floating around over there, all this usage and volume. And the very last one, but not the least, is going to be Lighter. Now, Lighter is just like the Hyperliquid app. You can trade perps. They do have some things about an airdrop coming. Right now it is saying that I am in a restricted jurisdiction, so I can't really do much on this protocol. But if you are not in a restricted jurisdiction, or if you like to use the tools that you need to use, this one might be a very good one to look into as well, because they do have some point systems going, and they have said on Twitter that they're having an airdrop. So there are a lot of different ways that you can get your hands on some of the points in the ecosystem right now. Will these points turn out to be very, very lucrative? I think so in the long run. Of course, these things are based on how much, a lot of them are based on how much activity you do, which is very great, because the more activity you do, the more points you get. And it's not exactly, just how much money you spend is how many points you get. So even if you have a smaller bag, you can do a lot of swaps, do a lot of different activity on the chain, and you can potentially get yourself some more points. So definitely check out the Hyperliquid ecosystem and all of the point systems available. Start off with this Hypebeat platform. You have at least, if you just go through the earn platform, it's going to give you a list of all these different apps you can try, and they all are along the same thing. They are DeFi protocols for liquidity, so you can liquidity farm and deposit liquidity on there. They are swapping platforms, so you get swap tokens and earn points for swapping tokens. They are money markets, so you can deposit money for yield and you can borrow against that. There are a lot of them that are money markets, and usually that's where I start. So I would do something, my process will look like this. I'll come to Hypebeat or Hyper right here. I will bridge some funds over, earn some points on bridging some funds. Then I can come to something like, you know, maybe even go up here to the quick borrow section, or let's see, pooled markets right here. Deposit some hype into here, earn some points on depositing that hype, borrow against that hype. So then I will come back in here and use that hype. The hype that I borrowed, I will take that and come over here to Hybra and deposit it into one of these pools. So now I'm earning plenty of points on, let's say, the same $100 that I sent over. So I'm depositing that $100 into Hyper, taking out $50 or, you know, $75 against it, deposit that into Hybra, and then I can, you know, do whatever I need to do with those liquidity tokens when it comes to that. But you can wash, rinse, and repeat this a bunch of different times. Now, that is the end of the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment box. If you want a full walkthrough tutorial, holla at me in my Telegram group and I got that for you guys. But there are so many airdrops and so many point systems going along in the Hyperliquid ecosystem right now. That's where it's at. Hybra is one that I'm really bullish on right now, and I deposited a lot of liquidity onto that ecosystem. And also for the Hype ecosystem, don't forget about the #1 meme coin on Hype right now. It is about half the price from the last time I talked about it. It's at 6 million. I think this token could be a pretty nice meme coin if Hype does do another airdrop. If Hype does another airdrop, liquidity is coming into this token. Y'all think positive and positive things will happen. RIP to crypto roots, and remember, never finish a negative statement about currency. Till next time, peace.